Hey guys, James here, back with another video, and today I'm doing a detailed overview of this bag. This is the Fold by NIID, and this is the Urbanature series. So they've got two other bags in this series. They've got the Switch chest pack and the Switch laptop sling. And right now they've got a Kickstarter campaign. They're trying to get these three different bags back. They've actually already successfully funded their campaign, but it's still available for Kickstarter price. So if you are interested, I'll leave those links in the description below if you want to go get that. But today we've got the Fold, and this is the sling bag. This is mainly like your big kind of bag for your 15-inch laptops. The other ones obviously can't hold a 15-inch, but this one can. So again, a big shout out to NIID for sending this through for me to do a review. So I've already said my initial kind of thoughts and overviews of this kind of backpack. So check out that video first, quite short, only a few minutes. And then once you finish that, you come back here and let's get into the details of this bag. All right, so now that you've done that, we're gonna go through our scoring sheet. So these are all the different things that I think are important in a bag, and I'm going to be marking them out of 10. So design, weight, strap or straps, anti-theft, security, interior features, and space management. I've combined those two. Comfort, pricing, so essentially the value, what is it value for money? Is there any perks for crowdfunding campaigns? So we'll find out. Is there any deal breakers? Are there any unique features? This one, I'm just gonna give it a few extra points on any unique features that I find, and that will add to the total score. Versatility of use, who is this for? And the final conclusion for the final score. These are the things which I think make a good backpack overall: space management, design quality, comfort, and versatility of use. I think those are the four kind of pillars of a backpack. So we'll look at those as well. But let's just start with design, and this thing screams design. First of all, I love the colors. I generally just like darker colors, but it really does have a nice aesthetic to it. The fact that it has this kind of brushed aluminum kind of design, but also looking sleek and modern. And do note as well, if you see any imperfections, it is because this was hand stitched and this is still a sample model. So these are not the final production models that you'll be getting. These are sample models that were hand stitched. So overall, you think it just really does scream quality. You look at this buckle, and I'll show you what this is for, but that is reflective metal buckle. You can see the NIID branding on it. The NIID branding is there, but everything about this just screams premium, high quality design, and I love that. When I first got these in, the first thing I noticed was that, wow, this is a really nice design. I love how that's magnetically attached. I think overall design is good. This is flat, so it's flush against your back. There's another little slot here as well. So just overall design. And for originality, I think a lot of people try to do like messenger sling bags and all that, but they tend to look quite the same. But the fact that this is transformable and allows you to fit a 15-inch laptop, but then allows you to pack it down when you don't want to, then I think that's pretty cool. Now, the only thing I don't really like is probably this corner here. So let's just say if we move the zip across, this zip's a little bit temperamental, just because the stitching wasn't that great when it was done for the first production sample. But if you take this zip away, this does look a lot nicer. So my advice would be, put the zips down here. I know it's something extra you have to do, but that makes the whole overall bag impression a lot nicer instead of having the zips stuck up here. However, this Fold could have been a little nicer, I reckon. I'm gonna rate it pretty high, actually. I don't think I've ever given such a high score, but I'm gonna rate it a 9.5 for design. I really do like the design of this bag. Can't stress that enough. 9.5, I think they've done excellent with design. It's very original. It's not really copying kind of what has come before. It's very unique, in my opinion, for what I've seen anyway, okay? And I love the feel as well. It's really nice. Okay, weight. So a big part of doing reviews is to actually say, how heavy is this thing? Because if the bag itself is really heavy, then you're not going to be able to carry much stuff in the bag when you actually use it. 960 grams, so 0.96 kilograms, and it's 2.11 pounds for those who use pounds. Some backpacks weigh about 1 kilogram plus, so this ain't light. However, I do kind of get where they're coming from, because this does have a lot of premium quality material. Okay, this material isn't like cheap stuff. It is quite thick, and remember, it does have that waterproof coating. Yeah, surprisingly, I thought it would be a lot lighter, around 700 grams. However, you don't really feel it that much, but you will eventually feel it when you start adding items such as laptops and stuff like that. In what they gain in quality and design, they kind of lose in terms of weight. So in terms of weight, I will give it a 7. It's not that great, however, it's not that bad as well. Now, in terms of straps, so they're using the seatbelt material straps. These aren't removable, but let's just go through each part at a time. So this is attached through stitching, and it's got this plastic, not metal unfortunately. You have this plastic kind of buckle which is holding these two parts together. So it's not fully just stitched in there like that. There is some leeway, which is great. I think that's a great design choice that they've done. Allows for more flexibility. This one, however, is stitched directly to the bag itself. I don't expect much breakage, but essentially it's stitched in by about this much, and that much is 17 mil in. So if you were wondering, they probably could have stitched it a little bit more. Yeah, when it comes to the bag and the function of this, it is a dead space. So they could have went all the way down for stitching. That would have given it a much stronger anchor. However, I don't think this is going to break anytime soon. So seatbelt material is generally quite robust, and it's quite durable. That's why a lot of bags designers and bag manufacturers like to use the seatbelt material. It's very smooth as well, which means if you need to put this on any kind of material, so for example, wearing certain types of clothing will create more friction for certain types. But when you have that seatbelt material, that's why it's nice and smooth, and that's why I guess cars use that. This strap rest, if you want to call that, this is also again that same material. It's this waterproof polyester. You can see the stitching here. It's using Velcro to attach, but it has a very nice padding on the shoulder bit. So when you do wear this, so you can wear it like this, like that. So you can see it, that's one way to wear it. You can use the opposite way, maybe not. You can use the opposite way, however, it is inverted. However, this is probably the way that I would wear it personally. However, it's not one of the most super thick, comfortable straps that I've seen. So I think they could have perhaps gone a little bit thicker on that padding, especially if you're going to be carrying a 15-inch laptop in here with some extra documents, maybe a power brick as well. Then that all adds up to weight. So they probably could have added a bit more reinforcement of the strap material. So just to give you a rough kind of estimate on the thickness of that. So this is about 5 mil thick cushioning. So not the thickest, however, it is good how they did have that soft foam. They definitely could have gone maybe even a few more mil thicker, and that would have made it a lot nicer to wear, especially if it's going to be like that instead of like the sling side. Now, also featuring on the strap is this holder. So essentially, this allows you to slip this like that, and that allows you to hold your 15-inch laptop pretty much like this or like that. And I'll show that when I do load it up later when I look at comfort. So yeah, that's essentially what this is for. Again, using high quality rubber to attach, which is great. So let's just quickly detach this. Nice mirror finish on that buckle. I love that. When I saw that I was like, that's such a nice touch. And it's stitched pretty well to the strap itself. And this is a kind of matte rubber kind of finish to this attachment. So it does give it another premium feel on top of that. So as I said, this thing screams premium. This buckle, however, the adjustment buckle, this is plastic, not metal. It's not one of the really cheap ones. However, it doesn't feel as premium as the rest of the bag. So perhaps maybe they could have added a metal buckle here. That would have been really nice. And maybe a metal buckle on the other side. So that would have been really nice as well. So overall, I think for straps, again, they're using good seatbelt quality material, which I don't mind on bags, because backpacks is kind of different because you have two of them and you always need to readjust. But this one is kind of like, once you use it, that's fixed, that's done. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just because there is definitely room for improvement. So main reason is because I think they could have added more thickness of strap down there so it's more secure, using metal straps instead of these plastic ones, and finally, yeah, just adding a bit more padding of foam to this shoulder pad. All right, so that's straps. Now we're going to anti-theft and security. So in terms of anti-theft, it's a bit tricky because it's not really designed to be completely anti-theft. Unlike a lot of the backpacks that I review on this channel, they really target anti-theft and security. This one isn't really going for that. However, they do have some interesting features built into the bag. So first off, there's a compartment that's only accessible from behind, kind of similar to what you find in backpacks nowadays. So this compartment goes all the way through, and you can store, sensitive documents in here and cash or whatever whatever you want to put in here. Now, obviously, the side one is quite accessible. This goes all the way through as well, but generally, this one isn't going to be that secure. They do have this top pocket. You can fit kind of really small items in this one. That one is slightly recessed, so it does have a little bit of an advantage in terms of anti-theft, however, still not that much. Most of your anti-theft features is essentially in this zip compartment. So when you zip this one up, right, this is flush against here, it's pretty much impossible for someone to actually get their hand in there, because what they have to do is first they have to try to unzip this, and then once they unzip this, they need to get this up, right? And then they need to get inside to try to get stuff out of it. So this design in itself, the way that you access stuff, the fact that you have to flip this up, this is already in a sense anti-theft in itself. Now, given that if you do happen to use this extended mode, all they have to do is just get the zip and then they can get the stuff in. However, if you are using it in that folded mode, then it is a lot harder to get into it. So that's something to consider as well. What about grabbing the whole thing from you? Now, the seatbelt material, as I said, is hard to actually cut, which is really nice. So I don't think it'll be easily taken away from you, which is a nice thing. And essentially that's it really. There's no other pockets besides those. There is this other pocket which you can fit. I'm not sure what you would fit in here. Essentially, that's it. So this is the main kind of anti-theft pocket that you get. This will be against your back, and the fact that you're using if you're using the fold, that means all your stuff inside is very, very hard to access. It's only this pocket and this pocket which is kind of exposed. So in terms of anti-theft security, it's actually quite decent. In terms of the main compartments inside, it does reduce when you flip that up. So I'm going to give it maybe a 7.5, I reckon. Also, this material necessarily isn't slash proof. However, I don't want to wreck it, so I don't want to try. I'd say it's the kind of material that is definitely waterproof, and it's somewhat scratch resistant, and there is a layer inside, so I don't think this would be that easy to kind of slash and get through to steal items. So I'm not just saying it's impossible, it's definitely possible. However, they do have that extra padding, so it's kind of like 2 layers on the inside. That is pretty good, so 7.5. Okay, so interior features, this is the exciting part. So let's just go through each one by one and see what we get. So as I said, there is this side pocket where you can fit a few stuff in here as well. For example, you can put some power banks stuff if you want to have quick access to that. You have this top pocket, which is quite small. It's really just this section here. That's it. So you can probably fit some quick access stuff. For example, for me, I'd put maybe chewing gum, but obviously putting stuff that that possibly could get stolen. So I don't want to be putting keys and high value items in there. This back pocket, as I said, you can fit some travel documents, you can fit sensitive information or flat things, you can put your phone or any other things in here. Oh yeah, okay, you can fit like a metro card in here, I get that, yep. So maybe a transportation card, that would be pretty good to fit in there. I think that's what it's for. Then finally you have the main compartment. So this actually does have a few silica gel stuff in here. Let's see what we got inside. So try to get enough light so you can see. So this is a strap that you would normally use for your laptop, so that secures that corner over there. So this is your main, essentially your main laptop compartment, which is here. The next fold, you have some writing. I don't know if you can see that, but there's just this writing over here. It essentially just says, please limit its exposure to extreme heat, intensive sunlight, and corrosive material. Clean with dry and soft cloth. So don't wash it. So you can clean the interior, but do limit its exposure to the sun because I think it will fade and it will kind of damage it, especially with such a nice quality bag interior. So you have this fold here. And then you have more folds, and essentially all these pockets, they're not zipped or anything, they're very much open, and you can pretty much fit whatever you want to fit inside. Yeah, so this is more for your kind of your documents, your kind of other devices. You can definitely fit a power brick very easily in here, and I'll show you guys when I do the loading it up. But yeah, very much for your office kind of style use. So in terms of space management, I'm actually I think I should have swapped these two around. I should have put comfort first and then do interior features and space management. I think that's what I did in my previous videos. So I'm gonna load this guy up and then I'm gonna see just how good the space management is. So this is essentially what we're gonna put into this fold bag. So we've got a 15-inch MacBook Pro Retina, Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 tablet. We have a Bible, or you can replace that with a notebook or anything. A little bag which kind of holds a few things. So things like USB, I've got a hard drive in here as well. Bluetooth in-ears, wireless in-ears, power bank with a cable, charging cable, a power brick for I'm using this because I have Dell, so excuse that, but essentially a power brick, piece of chewing gum, it's called chewing gum case, and finally a transport card. So let's all load this up and we'll see how it feels and whether it feels comfortable to carry or not. Not really any space for this, to be honest. Maybe we won't put this in. You can kind of just fit the USBs and stuff kind of in just random sections, so won't worry too much about that. So let's zip this up. So this is what I mean about this zip is a bit temperamental. They said they will fix this. So to give you a closer look, all they really have to do is stitch this side down. That way when you get to this corner, it's not kind of you're kind of dragging it, whereas if you stitch it down, it's a lot easier to pull. So just like so. Same with this side as well. Zip it up like this. Let's latch it. All right, so essentially this is your laptop fold, sorry. Laptop fold in terms of carrying it. So this is what it looks like when it's fully kitted out. It is a little heavy, on the heavy side. And it does feel a little weird, just because I'm definitely not used to carrying a bag like this. But essentially this is how you carry it. I want to be fair and say that it definitely does require some getting used to. But, for example, you can access your card when it comes up to it, tag it. When you come back, chuck it in there, that's not going anywhere. And then you're back to normal, right? When you sit on the train, I guess you take it off, put it in front of you. I don't know how I feel, like it's not amazingly comfortable, but I understand that it's a new kind of thing for me, so I don't know. It does feel heavy though, with all the stuff inside. I can feel the weight kind of dig into my shoulder. So what I suspect is, obviously you can fit 15-inch laptops, but I don't think it's designed for it, honestly. I don't think that's what it's meant to do. So I'm going to take this 15-inch laptop out. I'm going to put this tablet into that laptop compartment instead. I'm going to put the Bible on the edge, right? And then I'm going to fold this down. So let's just zip this up first, all right? And then I'm going to fold this down. let it lock magnetically, and then try this on. So that's so much lighter and so much nicer. So I'm gonna try decrease the size a bit. All right. So that's what it looks like now. So it's folded down. It does have that extra anti-theft feature. And I think this is a much nicer way of carrying this bag. You still do feel a bit of the weight though, especially because the padding, as I said, is a little bit too thin for my taste. However, again, same concept. Now it's a lot more compact. It's a lot more low profile. Get your transport card out, tap it, stick it back in. You know, you can access anything on this back pocket. I didn't put anything in here, but for example, documents or whatever, passport if you're traveling. You can swing this around, access to the front, grab some gum. However, when everything's actually inside, you actually don't get much space to move around that stuff. This side is less accessible. Can I do it from this side? Not really. So definitely something to get used to. Yeah, but you can access this from the side, kind of feel your way, you know, grab your cable out or whatever it is. But I feel like maybe they should have put the zip on this side just because the transportation card is here as well. So I think overall, when you're putting that 15-inch tablet in there, it does get very heavy. So with comfort, I'm gonna have to give it a quite low score. For what it is, I think a fair kind of rating for comfort is probably a 6 out of 10. So the reason I give a 6 is because again, that padding just not thick enough, which plays a huge part because that's the only point of contact essentially of where the weight's coming on. And plus the distribution of the weight, I don't think is carefully designed so that the weight is kind of offsetted to your lower back. I think they could have perhaps paid a bit more attention about where the weight was being distributed, especially when adding, you know, thick, like heavy objects like laptops, power bricks, and all that stuff. So that's the reason it gets 6 out of 10. Now, in terms of space management and interior features, I think most of the slots that they have for, you know, the tablet and all that, right? It's all quite flat. It's really meant for storing flat objects, so like notebooks, you know, books and tablets and all that stuff. So that's fine if you've got all that stuff. However, in terms of space management, once you put that 15-inch laptop in there, things get a little bit tricky, and plus even wearing it becomes a bit more bulkier. That the fact is, if you need to transport a 15 laptop in a pinch, then that's fine. However, if you want to use this to transport a 15-inch laptop consistently, I probably wouldn't recommend it, just because I think it looks nicer, first of all, when it's got that fold on it, hence why it's called the fold. And plus, security is upped because then they need to go through a second layer. They need to actually pull this up and then unzip it. So I think just in general, if you have a 15-inch laptop, probably best to not look at transporting it using this bag, unfortunately. If you got a tablet and all that other stuff, then I think this is a nice, really nice bag. Looks sleek, looks great. However, the interior space management for large items isn't that great. Because it's quite low profile, like you can see here, because it's quite low profile, it kind of wants to fit everything within this low profile, and there's no kind of a sense or space for, you know, expandability in that sense. So I think overall, space management, not that great. It's done pretty well in terms of getting slots and stuff in there. However, when you really start adding stuff to it, it just doesn't really allow you to add a lot of items. Unfortunately, I think I might just have to give it, again, maybe a 6. I know that's quite low, but honestly, I was expecting a bit more just because it's so compact. They're trying to squish so much stuff together. The moment I put that laptop in, a lot of space was just lost. So pricing and value. So this fold is at the moment, if you can get in early, it's selling for $79 US. However, the normal Kickstarter price, if you can't get in early enough, is $89. The full recommended retail, they are going to sell this for $119. $89, if we take just that figure, the Kickstarter price, it's not bad considering the design, because I think you do pay a premium for design. Even though it's just looks, but at the same time you do pay a premium for that. The quality of material, it is quite weather resistant. These aren't the waterproof zips, however, but they do have decent zips. It's chrome plated, as well as the straps are quite nice. But for what you can do with it, especially space management and all that, it is quite limiting. See, cost is really always hard to judge. It really depends on what you use it for. Like if this suits all your needs and it's perfect for you, then of course the value is great. You know, $89 is not too bad. But when you think about, you know, it kind of ticks some boxes, but doesn't tick all the boxes. So I know I feel like I'm going around in circles, but it's hard for me to judge this one, to be honest. More so than my other backpacks for some reason, just because I love the design, I love the shape, I love its unique nature, but the fact is that it is lacking in that space management, which is a big thing for me. Space management is pretty much the first pillar. And quality and design is fantastic, but the space management just really lacks it. So I think it's not really worthy of a 7 out of 10, but it's too low for a 6.5. So I'm just gonna give it 6.75. I've never really given those kind of scores before, but it's a tough one. Currently, there are no perks at the moment, which does kind of reduce its kind of value as well. So they did say they have been thinking about it, but at the time of making this video, there are currently no perks, but do look out for it because they definitely have gone above their goal, which is fantastic to hear. Deal breakers, I think for me, would be the space management, not being able to kind of fit anything else. So if all I was carrying was a 15-inch laptop plus a power brick, nothing else, maybe just one tablet might be all right, but it was a little bit awkward to carry it. It could just be me. I'm just not used to it. Maybe some of you were like, well, that's totally fine. I'm used to that. That's fine, that's great. But for me, it was a little bit awkward just because I never used this kind of style bag. I love it in this mode though. I would definitely dig it in this mode. So, but to carry a 15-inch laptop, probably not the best thing. So deal breaker would be in terms of that. And the strap, if they made it a bit thicker. Now, given that you can probably just add your own strap, but then it loses the aesthetics and the kind of all-in-one nature of it. But yeah, those are the two things for me. Just the fact that once you start adding stuff, it gets really, really cramped. So they've got a magnet here and a magnet there. So once this folds, that's fine. And then this one kind of comes undone just because of, you know, the general bulky nature of it. So perhaps maybe adding, I don't know, a second magnet just in this section here. So having one here would have been nice. That way it's a nice fold and you can lift it up. Or adding something similar to what is in the Switch laptop sling. That's nice. So having that clip where you pull down first and then open, that would have been nice. But yeah, that's probably the only other thing which is not that great. But yeah, those are the deal breakers. Can't really think of any unique features at the moment for this. When I say unique features, I'm really looking for like really wow stuff, like stuff that is like really mind blowing. So there is a unique feature which I'm going to look in the Switch bags, but for this one, not at this stage. Versatility of use, definitely for office work. If you're not carrying, you know, as we said, 15-inch laptops and all that stuff. If you're, you know, just wanted to go to a place just for, you know, a site visit or something, you know, that you need to carry a tablet or whatever, then this is great as well. Definitely usable on the train for the daily commute, especially when you have that fold down. Now, can you use it, for example, with sports? You probably are not going to fit clothing into this, unfortunately. It's just not that big enough. So yeah, don't really expect to do that. And you wouldn't really bring it to any kind of sporting or kind of climbing environment. It's mainly for the daily commute, office work. Could use it as a uni bag, depends on if you're bringing books. If you just bring a laptop or a tablet and maybe a few pens and like a notebook, it's fine. You can probably fit a drink bottle in here. But when you want to start adding textbooks, no way, this won't be able to fit you for a school kind of university bag. So mainly for working people. So versatility of use, it's a little bit low, but I'll give it 6.5. All right, so final score after calculating all the different scores on this. So we get a 57.25, which equates to 72%. So not a bad score. Again, quality and design, highest score I've ever given on this channel. Looks great, using great quality material, and I just love it. It just really screams design. However, when it came to the practical use of, you know, putting items in here, it does lack a little bit. So that's kind of the main overall thing. So great design, great concept, but really lacks in the just the actual practical use of putting items into it, and it just really gets really thick and really squashed when you do that. So everything was generally quite good in terms of weight, straps, you know, anti-theft security, you know, comfort and stuff like that. But it really shined in quality and design, and really let down for the you know, the space management and interior features, really. That's pretty much it. So again, I'll leave links in the description below if you want to go grab this bag. It is unique. Urbanature, if you love the design, then I think you'll definitely love it when you actually see it in person. The color scheme is great. The texturing of the bag is great. If you love design stuff, and that's a big thing for you, this is definitely a good bag for you to buy. And if you're not really carrying a lot of stuff, then it also can be a good thing for you to buy as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Again, look out for the next coming videos. So doing the Switch chest pack as well as the Switch laptop sling, and then adding that waist pack as well, include it into one of those videos. So big shout out again to NIID for sending this bag over. I think you've really pushed the envelope. You guys have really pushed the envelope in terms of design and quality, and it's something very, very unique that I haven't really seen in the industry before. I think everyone's just copying each other, but this is unique. This is a unique bag with high quality material, and I think you guys should be proud of that aspect of it. But there are definitely areas for you to refine as any bag manufacturer has. So yeah, thanks again for that. Big shout out to you guys. I'll leave links in the description for the Kickstarter page. If you guys want to go grab that, grab this bag, check out their campaign. And if you have any questions, you know, you can go ask them. But hope you like this video. Like it if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or any comments about this particular bag or anything else, and I'll try to get around to answering this for you as soon as I can. I'm usually quite quick at doing that. Also, let me know what you guys think about this bag. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think I was a bit too harsh in terms of, you know, space management and all that stuff? Or do you think I was too over excited for the design? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really do value your feedback. Subscribe to see more videos like this in the future, the coming up ones. Hit the bell icon so that you get those emails straight away when I uploaded the next one. And yeah, until then, I'll see you in the next one, and God bless.